The greatest rivalry is finally here, and the opening test between the Springboks and All Blacks at Ellis Park has all the ingredients of a classic, with two of the most powerful teams in world rugby entering the contest after weeks of preparation, selection debates, tactical mind games, and carefully managed squad rotations. On Saturday, Dave Rennie's All Blacks will attempt to produce what would be a major statement victory on South African soil, while Rassie Erasmus Springboks will look to continue their extraordinary winning run and defend their position as the #1 team in the world. What makes this match so fascinating is that neither coach has selected the team many expected, with experienced stars Handre Pollard and Jordie Barrett both missing from the matchday 23, despite their enormous test experience and Rugby World Cup pedigree. Instead, Erasmus has placed his faith in Sacha Feinberg-Mngomezulu at fly half, while Rennie has handed the number 10 jersey to Ruben Love, meaning both coaches have effectively chosen attacking potential over the security of their most experienced game managers. The Springboks arrive at Ellis Park with an incredible record, having won 12 consecutive tests and 31 of their last 34 internationals. But New Zealand have genuine reasons for optimism after winning all 3 of their franchise matches in South Africa against the Stormers, Sharks and Bulls. Those victories produced an impressive 142 points for the All Blacks while they conceded only 40. Although the reality is that those matches provide limited evidence of what will happen when they finally meet the world champions. Rennie has been careful to use the franchise games as preparation rather than treating them as a direct indication of test form, and the intensity at Ellis Park will be completely different. The Springboks, meanwhile, split their squad before this test, sending a group to Argentina where they secured a hard-fought 17-10 victory over Los Pumas, while the other players remained in South Africa preparing specifically for the All Blacks. That means the available evidence is difficult to interpret, because both coaching teams have deliberately kept parts of their plans hidden. Erasmus has even admitted that he expected his Argentina selection to look disjointed because it was intentionally designed that way, making it clear that the primary objective was to prepare as many players as possible for the greatest rivalry series, rather than simply chase another victory. Only Eben Etzebeth and Sacha Feinberg-Mngomezulu have retained their starting positions from that Argentina match, while several other players move to the bench or out of the matchday squad completely. That makes Saturday almost feel like the beginning of a new tournament rather than the continuation of the Nations Championship. One of the most intriguing tactical decisions is the Springboks' decision to use a 5-3 split on the bench rather than their famous 6-2 forward-heavy replacement strategy. For years, Rassie Erasmus and the Springboks have built their game around the idea that opponents must survive the first hour before facing a fresh wave of physically dominant forwards. But this time Erasmus has chosen a different approach. Jan-Hendrik Wessels, Gerhard Steenkamp, Zachary Poorthen, Kobus Wiese and Marco van Staden provide the forward replacements, while Andre Esterhuizen, Kobus Renock and Manje Libbach make up the backline cover. There is no traditional bomb squad stacked with forwards, and that could indicate that Erasmus believes the starting pack is capable of controlling the physical contest or that he wants additional attacking options later in the match. The selection of Sacha Feinberg-Mngomezulu is equally significant. The young fly-half has been given responsibility for the biggest test of his career, and Erasmus is effectively asking him to bring creativity and unpredictability to the Springboks attack. Behind him, Grant Williams will provide explosive speed at scrum half, while the midfield combination of Damian de Allende and Jesse Kriel brings experience and defensive reliability. Damian de Allende is also celebrating his 100th test cap, adding another layer of significance to an already historic fixture. Outside them, Kurt-Lee Arendse, Cheslin Kolbe and Damian Willems form an extremely dangerous back three, with all 3 capable of turning defensive opportunities into attacking momentum. New Zealand, however, have their own weapons, and the return of Cam Roigard is perhaps the most important factor. Roigard has the ability to accelerate the game from the base of the ruck, and his speed could challenge a Springboks defense that does not always prioritize simply producing the fastest possible ball. The statistics from the Nations Championship suggested that New Zealand were one of the quickest teams at the breakdown, while South Africa were among the slower teams in terms of average ruck speed. But that does not necessarily mean the Springboks are inefficient. Their philosophy is different. Rassie Erasmus' team often uses the contact area to build momentum, secure powerful carries, and create opportunities for support players rather than simply chasing maximum ball speed. That makes Roigard versus the Springboks breakdown specialists one of the key tactical battles of the afternoon. If Roigard can consistently deliver fast ball, the All Blacks could create the attacking rhythm they want. If South Africa can slow the game down and force New Zealand into longer phases under pressure, the advantage could quickly swing towards the home side. Another major head-to-head is between Grant Williams and Cam Roigard, two scrum halves with very different approaches. Williams is devastating when he sees space around tired defenders and possesses the speed to exploit even the smallest defensive weakness, while Roigard is more physical and direct, often willing to challenge defenders around the fringes before accelerating the attack. The first 20 minutes could reveal which style gains the upper hand. The scrum is another area where the match could be decided, with Ox Nche leading the Springboks front row against Ethan de Groot, Cody Taylor and Tyrell Lomax. Nche has become one of the most influential loosehead props in international rugby, while de Groot has enjoyed a strong return to form under Rennie. The set piece will be especially important because penalties inside kicking range can completely change the momentum of a test between teams this evenly matched. Eben Etzebeth and Ruben Love will also have a major battle with Fabian Holland and Josh Lord in the second row. Holland's selection is one of the boldest calls in the All Blacks team after his impressive return from injury, and his ability to compete at the line-out while contributing around the park will be crucial. Alongside him, Josh Lord provides athleticism, while Tupou Va'ai has been retained at blindside flanker after his Strong Nations Championship performances. Captain Ardie Savia will lead the All Blacks back row with Luke Jacobson, and the leadership burden on Savia will be enormous. He must keep his team composed in an atmosphere that will be among the most intense he has experienced. The Springboks have selected Pieter-Steph du Toit as captain for this match, with Paul de Villiers and Jasper Wiese completing their loose forward combination. De Villiers deserves particular attention because of his turnover ability and his capacity to carry strongly, while du Toit remains one of the most complete forwards in world rugby. If South Africa can win the breakdown battle through du Toit, de Villiers and Wiese, it could make life extremely difficult for Roigard and the All Blacks attack. But the visitors have an exciting backline that could punish any defensive errors. Damian McKenzie returns at fullback, with Will Jordan and Josh Morby on the wings. Jordan has been one of the most dangerous attacking players in the world in recent seasons, and his ability under the high ball gives New Zealand a reliable option against the territorial kicking game of the Springboks. McKenzie, meanwhile, brings unpredictability and can attack from almost anywhere on the field. Ruben Love will have Roigard inside him and Jordie Barrett outside him, providing the young fly-half with an experienced and talented attacking structure. Quinn Tapia completes the midfield, and the combination could give New Zealand a genuine opportunity to attack the Springboks through multiple channels. Another fascinating element is the absence of Beauden Barrett. The former All Blacks captain has enormous experience in matches like this, but Rennie has chosen to trust Love, effectively asking the younger playmaker to embrace the pressure rather than protect him from it. That could either become one of the defining masterstrokes of the new All Blacks era or one of the major reasons why the visitors fall short. The same applies to Erasmus, who has chosen Feinberg-Mngomezulu rather than Pollard. Two coaches, two inexperienced attacking playmakers, and one enormous test. It is a fascinating contrast. There has also been plenty of discussion around the new laws, because this will be the first meeting between the Springboks and All Blacks under the complete updated law framework. Changes involving the break foot and 20-minute red card system could influence how the match develops, especially if refereeing decisions become significant at the breakdown. Matthew Carley will take charge, with Carl Dixon and Nika Amashukali assisting and Mike Adamson operating as TMO. Both coaching camps have spent plenty of time discussing refereeing and the breakdown, meaning discipline could be absolutely critical. Rennie has already emphasized the importance of reducing time wasting, while Erasmus has made his own arguments about how the laws should be interpreted. Ultimately, however, the match will not be decided in press conferences. It will be decided by collisions, territory, set piece, breakdown accuracy, and the ability to execute under pressure. The Springboks have the home advantage, the altitude, the crowd, and an incredible recent record, while the All Blacks have momentum, attacking confidence, and a selection that gives them genuine speed and creativity across the field. This is why the prediction is so difficult. On paper, South Africa should be favorites. They have won 12 consecutive tests. They are playing at Ellis Park, and their ability to control the physical battle remains unmatched by most international teams. But New Zealand have something different under Dave Rennie. They appear more positive, more connected, and more willing to attack from different areas of the field. Steve Hansen has already noted the improvement in their mood and confidence, and that could be important in a match where psychological pressure will be enormous.